Good evening, everyone. My name is Danny Harris. I am a senior, double majoring in history and mass media arts with a concentration in journalism. I was born October 20th, 1998 at Northside Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. I have one sister, Kamaria. She's younger than me, but we are like best friends and we are thick as thieves. I love her. I have a little kitty named Maya. We adopted her from the Humane Society last summer. Also had another baby Blackwell who fell ill last summer and she is no longer with us. I've been in Atlanta my entire life. I call it home. I've moved around quite a bit throughout the metro area for various reasons. When I was starting middle school, I settled in Fayetteville, Georgia, which is about a little under an hour outside of the city, about maybe 50 minutes. I attended Fayette Middle School and I graduated May 26, 2017 from Fayette County High School. While I was in high school, I was a member of several organizations, including the band, writing club, activism society, history club, and I served as the varsity manager for the boys basketball team for 4 years. Well, my entire matriculation at Fayette County High School. Although I was not enthused about being there or a fan of being in the area, I'm grateful for the things I learned while I was there and what I took away with me and how that has impacted my life, whether for the good or for bad. While I was in school, I only took one class that was computer related, and it was in seventh and eighth grade, and it was a typing class. I am an excellent typer because of that, but that is as far as my computer science education goes. Once I got to Clark Atlanta University, I had quite a few friends who were computer science majors, and it sounded like a foreign language to me. Even when I used to spend time in the OITC office talking to some of the people who were there, it just seems like something you really have to be passionate about, and I will be truly honest, I am not. But I'm very eager to learn and I'm very open to learn, because once I get further into the video, I will talk about my career field and how it has greatly impacted my career field, and it has become a great asset, and it is something I definitely want to learn and further to make myself better. Okay. And well, I can talk about Clark Atlanta University is the only school I applied to. I had offers and scholarships from more than one institution, but Clark Atlanta was always my dream school, primarily because of the journalism program, which I've come to know now as the mass media arts program. I've always wanted to be a journalist since I was 11 years old. My love for writing and basketball, specifically the NBA, literally led me into the direction of wanting to be a sports journalist. When I got into my sophomore year at Clark Atlanta University, I kind of moved away from that idea and decided to follow my passions as a music historian and an ethnomusicologist, which is now what I truly want to be. I want to study music throughout the African diaspora and African American or Black American life, and I want to study how it has impacted and cultivated our humanity, our experience, and our livelihood throughout history. That is my goal. That is what I want to do. Along with being an ethnomusicologist, I want to be a museum curator. Even though museums have a seemingly horrid background when it comes to their inception, especially if you look at University of Chicago and what they did and how they brought museums to the forefront, it has not always been a good thing, seemingly because of its how artifacts were gotten through looting, stealing, forcible taking of many countries, specifically in Africa and parts of Asia, the artifacts that were taken. So it is not a very pretty history, but even though I feel strongly about that, I do feel like that there is some beauty and good in museums, and I tend to be someone who brings that to the forefront. Specifically, since as of right now, 2020, 2021, there are only about 3% of Black curators in the United States and further into the world, and even less of them are women. And I plan on doing that. That is my dream. That is my goal. If any of you have ever seen the photograph with Lakeith Stanfield and Issa Rae. Issa Rae was actually a curator. I've been to New York. I've been to DC. Those are not the only places I've been, but as far as museums, I've been, and I fell in love. After school, I actually plan on moving to DC and working for one of the Smithsonians. Well, that pretty much explains why I selected my field of study, but as a child, I loved history extremely. I still love history. It is completely, at this point, like my livelihood. And my interest just continues to grow. So when I was in 11th grade, I decided I was going to double major. Didn't know what it meant. Didn't know what I was going to do it. But I knew I was going to do it. And I'm in my senior year as a double major, and I've been doing very well thus far. As I mentioned earlier, there are quite a few technologies that have greatly impacted my field of study, specifically history. If any of you are familiar, digital work and digital technologies have made a great impact on history, made very, very, very good strides in the field. A lot of artifacts now, including sources, archives, documents, graphs with statistics, anything like that has been digitized to the point where it can be pulled up in a matter of seconds. Whereas prior to that, one would have to go to an archives or a museum or a school library, and dig through crates and crates and crates and look through books to find one statement, one source. That is no longer the case. Although I am a huge fan of the brick and mortar style, getting in a book, picking up a newspaper, anything like that, sometimes it is much more convenient to pull it up or to access a data archives. So I am very thankful for that, and I have technology to thank and uphold for those accomplishments. Also, I know probably all of you on Instagram, I don't know if you've seen it because our Explore page is pretty much reflect what we look at, but there was a trend a few months ago of various pictures of political figures and historical figures, and even just everyday people being motioned, having motion added to them in a movement. One in particular was Frederick Douglass, and it shows his face moving from side to side and his eyes blinking, almost to show us what he would have looked like in motion. And words cannot explain what that meant to me. I can't even explain what that meant to me to see something like that. And to see that on average, everyday pictures of people from 100 years ago and even prior is just very beautiful. And it just brings everything full circle. So I'm very thankful for technology and its strides into that. And I can definitely tell you, especially when it comes to research purposes, history cannot live without technology, would not be what it is without technology. So I can also use that as the trend that impacted my field of study was the add in motion to pictures and artifacts, because there are even some websites where they have interactiveness for statistics that definitely can help someone learn something better as opposed to picking up and reading something or watching a documentary. Which, speaking of documentaries, I can briefly mention some of my pastimes, interests, and hobbies, which mainly include reading, writing, collecting mugs, vinyls, books, posters. I collect quite a few things, traveling, spending time outside, watching documentaries, researching. And when I say researching, I research a lot. I write quite a few short essays. Go figure, I'm also a published writer in more than one publication. Yay for me. I do a lot of research specifically on personal autonomy for newly freed people of African descent during the Reconstruction period. I'm working on an exhibition in the future on that. I've already done quite a few base research and groundwork. The same is true of my interest in working on an exhibition about Afrofuturism and its impact on Black livelihood, humanity, culture, art, music, etc., etc. So I've been researching those as hobbies. I watch a lot of documentaries, I read a lot of artifacts, and I would love to create an exhibition on those things. Okay, Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my checklist in my paper, making sure I cover everything. So I pretty much talked about my career goals and my development plan. Like I said, I want to be an ethnomusicologist and a museum curator. And I've been making quite a few strides and just strides in doing that basically. While being at Clark Atlanta University, I've met quite a few people who are as committed as I am to getting me to cross those strides and make my dreams come into reality. Dr. Sims Alvarado, who is a professor at Morehouse. I'm currently in one of her classes and I've already taken another one of her courses. She introduced me to exhibition work. She is showing me how to do it, the groundwork, everything I need. I really thank her. I wholeheartedly thank the history department, too many to name, at Clark Atlanta University. They are literally holding me up like the ground that I walk on. They are helping me so much and they believe in me wholeheartedly, and I thank them and love them for that. I can only see myself going up in this field. After graduating, I plan on being a teacher. I want to either teach literature or history. I would love to teach at a high school or collegiate level. That is the goal because I can't teach babies. But, it is what it is. Stuff happens. Alongside that, I will also like to and plan on obtaining a doctorate degree in either history, African American studies, humanities, or African American literature. If need be, I would just make those my focus, but I'm getting my doctorate, not taking no for an answer when it comes to that. And the steps that I plan on using to achieve those goals are pretty much what I'm doing now. Working hard, staying determined, not letting myself get discouraged, comparing myself to others in their journey, staying on top of my research, staying on top of current news. Because to be in this field, you want to be as current as you can, and you want to be as well versed as you can, which I pride myself on that. How much I read, how much I study, how much I engage, the content I absorb, just anything, and how I impact others throughout my community and my school. So those are the things that I think are going to get me there. Those are the things I'm still working at. And in that process, it has helped me become a better person, a better woman, just a better human being. And I want to be that for myself, my friends, my family, and especially my community. Because without community, we would not be here, and community is key. So I know I talked a lot. Hopefully I covered everything. In my paper, of course, there would be things presented in more intricate detail. But once again, my name is Danny Harris. I'm 22 years old. I'm a native of the Metro Atlanta area, and I'm a senior double major in history and mass media arts, concentration in journalism at Clark Atlanta University. Thank you all, and I hope you have a great evening and a wonderful rest of your semester.